Hi everyone, so it's my birthday, April 6th, and I went thrift store shopping for books on vacation. We went to Florida, me and my husband, to visit my mom because she lives there. So I say we, but I decided I wanted to go bookstore shopping and get some really amazing books for really cheap at like the Goodwill bookstore and this little place called Shelf Indulgence. This was really cute. I don't remember which books I got where, but I do remember that everywhere I went was amazing. I only went to like 3 thrift stores, but I did get some amazing things, so I'm going to share with you a huge, I say huge, compared to everyone else on the internet saying like huge 100 plus books. No, this is 15 books, which is huge for me because I don't have any more room on my shelves anyway, so having more books than I can carry in my house is huge enough. So yeah, so let's get into the book haul. So the first book I have is My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante. This is an Italian story of friendship between these two women called Elena and Lila, and it is a historical fiction and coming of age story. The main reason I got this is because I have a bookstagram, which will be linked down below. I don't really post a lot, but I do post every week at least, and this was all over it like a year ago, or I'm so bad with time that I don't really know when it was a big thing, but it was huge like last summer I think. So I picked this up because it's like, I love the cover of it. It's so nice and just calming. I don't know, it just looks very nice. I love it. It's just, I love it. So yeah, I don't really know what many of these books are about. I did research them, but I only looked at Goodreads, so I don't really know much about them because I don't like going into my books knowing a lot about them. So I tried to limit what I did know about them anyway with researching, so you're not going to get a ton about what they're about, but you can still see my book haul. This is the first one. The second book I have is Black Coffee by Agatha Christie, adapted by Charles Osborne. This was originally a play by Agatha Christie. I read some of the Goodreads reviews, and some of these people said that they could tell that it was originally a play and that it should have stayed as a play, so I'm kind of worried about reading this. But so this will not be the first Agatha Christie I read. I picked this up for the cover mainly because it just looks really nice, and coffee is one of my favorite drinks, and it just looked really nice. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, but it is the focus a Hercule. I don't know how to pronounce it at all. Like, I didn't even look it up. I forgot to look it up before I started filming this. But basically, a guy, there's this inventor, and he invents this new like explosive device, and it gets stolen, so he turns off the lights and he's like, okay thief, you can come on, just deliver it, it's fine, I'm not gonna see you, so you can go undetected. But then I'm pretty sure the inventor gets unalived, so I think this guy has to figure out what happened, because I think that the novels about this guy are like, he's a detective, and I think it's like all about him. I have one of his already. The third book I have is Saint X by Alexis Shatkin. I don't know how to pronounce that, but oh, my cat's here. Hello. Can you get down please? Thank you. Okay, I thought this was Baby X, the one that just came out recently, but they're not even related, I don't think so. But the covers are so similar, and the names are, because it's Baby X and this one's Saint X, but they're not even by the same author, so I don't think that they're related. Claire is 7 years old when her college sister goes missing at this Caribbean island of Saint X. Her sister's body is found several days later. I'm so sorry for the cuts in this. My cats are huge distractions when I'm filming. They are so noisy all the time. I mean, that's what happens when you have 13 of them, but still, they could just chill sometimes. But Claire is 7 years old when her sister goes missing at this resort in this Caribbean island called St. X, and her body is found several days later, and these two employees are arrested for it. But something seems a little off about this, so they're released and time just goes on. So years later, Claire, the younger sister of the woman that was unalived, she is working in New York City, and she comes across one of the guys that was arrested for her sister's unaliving. and this re-sparks like this interest in her brain that she has to find the truth about what happened to her sister. So I'm very excited for this one, mainly because of the cover, but it seems like a nice little thriller, I guess. I don't know, like search for the truth. I love them. Okay, so the book I'm most excited about on this, I think this is the book I'm most excited about, is Brutes by Diz Tate. I have been wanting to read this since it came out, which wasn't that long ago because it was only in February of last year, but still I'm very excited to read this. It's been a year that I've wanted to read this. This is The Virgin Suicides meets The Florida Project, which I've never read or watched either of those. So I don't really know. I think The Florida Project is a movie. I don't know anything about this except for the fact that it is a coming-of-age story about the difficulties of girlhood and friendship. A group of 13-year-old girls have become obsessed with the preacher's daughter, but one day the preacher's daughter goes missing and hell ensues. If you haven't noticed, there's a theme between these books. Somebody or something goes missing. I don't know. That's not even a trope I really like. It's just always in my books. I guess it's kind of a trope I like. But overall, it's not like a main theme that I really look for in books. It's just always happens to be in my books because this isn't even a thriller, I don't think. It's just a story about the difficulties of girlhood and somebody goes missing in it. And of course, I'm gonna love it. I know I'm gonna love this book. Like, look at the cover. It's so gorgeous. One that I will not be reading until the winter time, maybe this year, hopefully, is Dead in Gondola by Anne Claire. This is a Christie bookshop mystery, and you will know why it's called that in a second. So when a mysterious bookshop visitor dies, or unintentionally unalived by someone else, the Christie sisters and their cat Agatha have to solve who did it. And I love that. So as you can see the little cat there. Oh my gosh, I've never read any Agatha Christie. I know I have Agatha Christie books, and I know I've hauled her books in another book haul before. But I have never read anything by her. I don't know anything about her. I've never watched any of her movies. But she's such a legend that I know a lot of the things that have to do with like mysteries and stuff have to do with Agatha Christie. But I just love that they're called the Christie sisters and the cat's name is Agatha. It's so cute. Another one I've been wanting to read since it came out is The Woman in the Library. I originally found this on the Goodreads like giveaways that you can do. And I wanted to win the giveaway, but I didn't. So I found this in the Goodwill bookstore. I can't speak. But the reading room at the Boston Public Library is usually quiet, as are libraries. But it is disrupted by a woman's terrified scream. So the security guards go and are like, oh my gosh, what happened? And they have to wait for like an A-OK like signal before anyone can leave. But there are these four strangers and they're sitting at this table and they are discussing and conversing and everything about what happened and just talking friendships and just getting to know each other. And they all have their reasons for being there in the reading room that day. But one of them is an unaliver. Can you say the M word on YouTube? I don't know. I see a lot of creators not saying the M word, so I'm gonna try not to. But it's not as dramatic as saying ... unaliving as it is the M word. I don't know. But the cover for this is really nice too. I like the book. It looks like there's a lot of dust coming off of the book and it's very nice because I love to smell books. This one doesn't really smell great, but it's just an average book smell, not the vintage book smell that you get. Okay, so this is a book. I didn't know who the author was. This is called Supermarket. It is by Bobby Hall, aka Logic. I don't know any of Logic's music. I don't really listen to that type of music, but this is by him. And this is, the cover got me. I love the side of it. It's just so simple. And the covers are bright, so it's very nice. Flynn is depressed and stuck at living at his mom's house. So he gets a job at the supermarket and he thinks, oh, this is going to change everything. I'm going to have a steady job. I'm going to get money. Everything will go right. But then one day he goes in for a shift and there's a crime scene and his whole world collapses. So this is a psychological thriller, which is by far my all-time favorite genre, I think. I love it in manga. I've not really read it in books, like novels. I love psychological thriller manga, so hopefully I do like it in novels form, and I do like it in movies and stuff, so why would I not like it in a novel form? I mean, there's just more to it this way, so of course I'm gonna like it. But I just love it so much. The cover is just so nice. The next book is Quintessence by Jess Redman. This is a magical realism middle grade, and this is what it's about. 3 months ago, 12-year-old Alma moved to a new town and she started getting panic attacks, but she's still having them, but she told her parents she's not, so her parents think she's okay. She's homesick and friendless. One day she finds a telescope in the town's junk shop and she discovers a star that looks like a child is falling right into her backyard. So knowing what it's like to be friendless and alone and so far from home, she takes care of this star, a story of friendship, it's coming of age, and it's a journey of making friends, science, and magic, which I love the science and magic element because I love magic and I love science, and to have them both put together in a book is really amazing because you don't really see them put together a lot of the time. So I'm very excited for this one. Count how many times I say so excited for this one. Of course I'm excited for this one. It's a book that I bought. Of course I'm excited for it. The next one is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. I did not buy this at Target. I actually bought this at Goodwill. So it just has the Target sticker. So on their 5th anniversary, I think his name is Nick. Let me look it up. Yeah, Nick Doon finds his wife Amy is missing. The police suspect him, and his wife's friends say that she was scared of him and that she was keeping secret from him, but he swears that's not true. And then the police go to investigate his computer, and there are these weird searches that he swears he did not do. Like, he did not look those up. Those did not come from him. And he's also getting these odd calls, like just constant calls on his cell phone. He doesn't know where the stuff is coming from, so like what happened to his wife. I have never known what this is about, but I've always wanted to read it because it's just a classic at this point. This one is Chocolate by Joanne Harris. In a tiny town in France where nothing ever happens, a new chocolate shop is opened. It seems magical because with each box of bonbons, the owner offers her uncanny insight into the buyer's discontents and a cure for them. So this is a magical realism historical fiction. And I mainly picked this one up because Johnny Depp is on the cover, and I really want to read the book before watching the movie because I just haven't gotten around to watching the movie yet, and I want to watch all the Johnny Depp movies. He was my favorite actor as a child, so I just want to watch all of his movies. So that is another book I picked up, and I usually don't buy movie tie-ins, but since Johnny Depp is on the cover, I decided to buy it. I also got Looking for Alaska, which I have read before, but I got rid of it when I moved out because I thought, oh, well, I just will never read this again. But it was one of my favorites as a teenager, and I don't really know what this is about. Let me read it. It's kind of like The Perks of Being a Wallflower, kind of, a little bit, but a lot more dramatic, I guess. I don't know. Read it. I don't really know what it's about. Sorry. I have 2 books in here that I didn't look up and I forgot to do before I filmed. So here is one of them. Even though I have read it, it's been so long that I don't remember what it's about. Another book I didn't look up is Night Books by J.A. White. I have not looked this one up at all. I've always wanted to read this one. It is about Alex has loved scary stories his whole life. Now he's trapped in one. After Alex sneaks out in the middle of the night, he has become imprisoned by the witch of Natasha in his magical apartment. Another child in the apartment, Yasmin, assures Alex that she's already tried every means of escape. Only Natasha holds... Is that how you pronounce it? Natasha? Natasha? Holds the bone keys that lead to their world, and she'll never part from them. But Natasha likes stories, and Alex's only chance for survival is to keep her satisfied by reading her one of his own hair-raising tales each night. Except Alex is running out of new stories, and soon out of time. Actually sounds really good. It's a middle grade. It seems kind of like a horror. Ooh, I like the text in this. Here, let me get you one. It's very, the margins are very big. And they're kind of spread apart, so this will be a very fast read. And the cover is what got me on this one too, which is common for most books. The cover is what sells me on buying the books. Second to last book is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This was not a thrifted book, but I did buy this one at Target because I wanted a book to read on the beach, but I never ended up reading on the beach anyway because I was too busy talking with my family. So, but I did take some good pictures with it, And when it comes to love, Emma's cursed. Every guy she dates finds his true love after they break up, but it turns out she's not the only one afflicted with this condition. His name is Justin, and his Reddit thread about being love's good luck charm has gone viral. Now the two have come up with an ingenious plan. If they date each other, their curses will cancel out and they'll go on to find their soulmate. Only Justin wasn't supposed to be so unbelievably cute and hilarious. But when Emma's toxic mother shows up and Justin has to assume guardianship of his 3 siblings, they're suddenly navigating a lot more than they expected, including catching feelings for each other. But that's what this is about. It is a new release. It is extremely popular. I don't know if I'm going to like this, but it looks cute. I'm not a big fan of a lot of traditionally published romance. I usually like indie romance a lot better. I just feel it's a lot better because, like, I'm not a huge Emily Henry fan. I'm sorry, I have to say it. Her books just don't hit the way other little indie artists do. Like B.K. Borison, she was an indie author before, but now she's gone with Berkeley, but her books are still amazing. I just really like them. But I see that Emily Henry did something on this one. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. Who knows? I don't know. Hopefully I do. And the last book is Joyland by Stephen King. College student Devin Jones gets a job at Joyland, which is a fun house. And he tries to get his mind off of his breakup because the girl broke his heart and he just wants to move on. But tragic events happen while he's there, and I'm pretty sure that includes unaliving. And like I said, with a lot of these, I mainly got this for the cover because I've seen it a lot on like people's horror bookstagrams and stuff, but I just haven't gotten around to picking it up. So I've never read a Stephen King, so let me know in the comments if this is a good Stephen King book to start out with or if I should start somewhere else, because I don't want to start out with this and it be like trash and then never pick up another Stephen King, because I do love Stephen King movies. I wasn't a big fan of It, so don't make me read It. I didn't like it. I might read, if the book's better than the movie, I might read it, but not anytime soon. But please let me know if this is a good Stephen King to start with. And also, since this is the end of the video, please leave a skull or like some kind of bone emoji to signify how many times I said unaliving instead of the other words, because I don't want YouTube to get mad at me. I don't know if that's a monetization thing or what, because I'm not monetized right now, so maybe it won't bother me, but who knows. So leave that emoji and let me know if this is a good Stephen King to start with, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!